Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and this is Stitched Up. So today is Sunday and it's one day till I go on my holidays to Portugal and I am really excited. I should be packing right now, but instead I thought I would leave my husband to do the last minute few bits in the house, housework, that kind of thing. And I would show you, I thought today that I would show you the last minute sewing that I've been doing over the last few days. So as you know, if you watched my previous vlog, I had exams at university a couple of days ago. They went really well. Thank you for all your kind wishes there. I just thought I would tell you, actually, a couple of people have asked what exams I was doing. Basically I'm a nurse practitioner, and I'm currently undergoing my Masters in Advanced Clinical Practice. So I'm just at the end of my first year now. So the exams I did the other day were based on that, and yeah, they did go really well. So thank you for that. But I'm so pleased that they're over and now I can really get into my holiday mode. And yeah, so basically since my exams finished, I have wanted to get a few things finished for my holiday. The weather has really turned here in the UK now. It's still quite warm, but it's very clear we're getting to the end of summer. I've noticed that the nights are drawing in, but you know, I'm flying off tomorrow to Portugal, and it's the first time I've been abroad for 3 years, so really looking forward to it. So I'm eking out that last week or so of sun. So let's get started on some of the things that I've been making. So if you remember, some time ago in one of my vlogs earlier in the year, I said I was going to make this pattern, which is the Simplicity 8084, which is a Mimi G pattern. And I've previously made this version here and I absolutely love it. I made it out of like a sateen type fabric, heavy cotton sateen. And I will show you it in another vlog at some point if you're interested. But this time I wanted to make the shorter version. I thought that would be really nice for my holiday. So I did pick out some cherry print viscose that I bought from the textile centre some time ago, but changed my mind on that. So what I did instead was I rummaged through my ever increasing stash and I found this really lovely, again it's a viscose fabric. This is it here, so it's like a cherry print, no it's not, heart print viscose, yeah, and I've made the short version out of this and I absolutely love it. Now what I will say about this pattern is that the pattern pieces actually tell you to just cut one yoke piece, if you can see that there on the outer version, and it doesn't give you any finishing ideas for inside, but what I did was I cut 2 yoke pieces and I attached a yoke on the inside so it's all neatly finished, and I used the burrito method for that. Grainline Studios do a really good tutorial for that, so I'll put a link to that down below, but I think that just gives you a really nice finish on the inside. So essentially this is just a shirt dress. It's got shortish sleeves with little tabs there, and one of my buttonholes, yeah, I've just put little ivory buttons on there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but let me just hide so it focuses. There we go. So yeah, one of my buttonholes on these didn't work out very well. I think it's the other side, but yeah, but fortunately it's, I don't know if you can see that there, if it's going to focus, but yeah, this buttonhole here, it was a bit of a disaster, but fortunately with it being on the navy part of the fabric, it's not shown up too badly. On the inside, I've the good thing about this pattern is it tells you to use bias binding on the inside to create the channel that you put the tie straps through, so that makes things really easy. With this I've just overlocked the inside and it's got inseam pockets as well at the sides. Now the other version that I made is quite loose on me in the sateen fabric. This version feels a little bit snugger. Now I don't know whether that's just because I've put weight on or whether it's just the difference in the fabric, but I don't quite like how the inseam pockets seem to stick out on my hips on this fabric. So I'm not going to put a picture of me wearing it, because what I'm going to do is I'm hoping to take some footage of me wearing these tomorrow and while I'm on holiday, so that's going to form the next vlog. So today I'm just going to show you these, but yeah, I'm a little bit I'm not quite convinced with the inseam pockets because they just tend to jut out a little bit, and I think that's because they're just a little bit snug on my hips at the minute, and that just emphasises my hips. So yeah, but otherwise I really do like this pattern. I think it's a really lovely pattern. Now, I did have some difficulty understanding the placket. As I say, I've made this dress before, and the previous time I just seemed to fly through the pattern and it all came together really well. But this time the instructions really confused me. The placket, if you can see, is a hidden placket, so the buttons are actually inside there, and then this bit folds over so you can't actually see the buttons from the front of the dress when you've got it on. And the instructions really did not make sense to me to do this. So I figured it out in the end, but the only way I figured it out was actually by getting my other dress out and looking at how I'd constructed that. So that's just something to bear in mind. It might make sense to you, but it didn't to me. So that's my first dress, and I'm planning to wear this tomorrow to the airport, so I'm really happy with that one. The next thing that I said I was going to make was the Tessuti Patterns Claudia dress. I'll put a link to a little picture of that here. Now, I've had this white linen in my stash for some time, and I've been planning to make this all summer, but the aim was that this was going to be a dress for my holiday, and I finally got it done. So this is the dress here, and I have to say, I know that the fabric's quite boring because it's just white linen, it's not a nice funky pattern or anything, but I have to say this dress is just gorgeous. This is the second Tessuti Patterns pattern that I've ever made, and I absolutely love it. So it's basically just a very simple straight dress with, again, it's got side seam pockets in, but the pockets are constructed differently to normal pockets that I've ever done before. It's got a little pocket facing just there. I don't know if you can see it. So it's got like an ingenious little pocket facing there. Oops, just dropped the coat hanger on the floor. And you actually only use one pocket piece, which is attached to the front part of the bodice, and that creates the pocket. So there's not actually two pocket pieces there, it's just the one. It's got some gorgeous splits at the side, if I can show you that there, and a really lovely mitered finish at the bottom, if I can show you that. So this is the hem at the bottom and this is the side split there, and it's got a really lovely mitered finish. Now, yeah, I absolutely love this dress. I made a size medium. It's got a facing on the inside, which is all nice and neatly finished. Bust darts on the side seams there. I haven't lengthened this dress at all, and the length of it is perfect on me. So I do think their patterns must be sort of graded for a taller female. But I absolutely love this dress. It is just gorgeous, and I think it's just going to be perfect for Portugal. So I'm really happy with this. The instructions were very easy to follow. Tessuti instructions do have I think they have photographs, but they're in a plain fabric, so that really helps when you're trying to look at what they're doing. I didn't really struggle with anything apart from there was, I think it was just a little bit doing the mitering of the corners. It's the first time I've done that, and I just needed to read the instructions carefully a couple of times, but I really love the finish that this gives you. It looks really neat and tidy. So I'm absolutely delighted with this dress, and I do think I would like another one, maybe in, again, I think in a plain fabric. It just looks really nice, and I would probably use maybe a navy as in the picture on the pattern. I think that would be really lovely. So that's my second dress that I'm planning to take with me. I got that made up. I'd had the pattern cut out for probably a number of weeks now, and it probably took me about 2.5 hours to make up, so it was quite a quick project really. So I did that on Thursday evening. So that's that one. The next one is this dress here. Now this is going to be quite awkward for you to see. Okay, so because it's just an absolute ruffle mania dress, to be honest. Okay, so let me show you the pattern first. I can't show you the pattern because I've not brought it with me, but I will put a little picture of the pattern here. This is another, I think it's a simplicity pattern, and basically my inspiration for making this dress came from the christening of my great niece that I went to a few weeks ago, my niece wore a really lovely dress that I believe she bought from Oasis. Now, if I can find that, I will put a picture of that up here for you. But when I saw her wearing this dress, I thought, that's really lovely. And I've got some fabric very similar to that. And I'm sure I've got a pattern that's very similar to that as well. So I thought I'd have a go. Now, I had a bit of an initial disaster with this. And the reason why was because this lovely fabric is it's called a chiffon dress fabric, and it's by the Textile Centre, and I absolutely love it. It's a gorgeous botanical print, but it's not see-through, as you can see there. It's quite opaque, and it's very, very soft. So it's not like a chiffon fabric, even though the Textile Centre describe it as a chiffon fabric. So it's perfect for dresses, blouses, that kind of thing, and you wouldn't need to line it. Now, where I went wrong was in the tracing of this pattern, because the ruffle pieces, when I traced out the pattern, I'd not written on the ruffle piece how many pieces I needed to cut, and I went away, cut all my pattern pieces out, started sewing things up, and then realised that I was 2 of these ruffle pieces short and I didn't have enough fabric left. So I quickly rushed onto the Textile Centre website to see if they had any more, and fortunately they had 1 metre left. So I bought it along with a load of other fabrics that I don't really need, but you know, it's fabric. And so I was just very, very lucky there, because I was going to be devastated if I could not get this dress made up. So essentially, it's a halter neck style. These are the straps here that literally go around your neck here, and the ruffles fold over at the front, as you can see. Your arms go in here. If I just bring this back and show you. So your arms go in there, both sides, if that can show you. Yeah. And then it's got an elasticated waist that is made very similar to the Simplicity Heart dress that I've just shown you. It's essentially bias binding that you put in the waistline again and then feed the elastic through. And then this one has a high-low hem, if I just show you. So can you just see that there? So yeah, so the hem is a bit shorter at the front than the back, and I've just done a narrow hem on that, if I can show you that there. So it's just narrow hemmed, and it's gorgeous. And at the back, if I show you the back, the ruffle goes round the back up to the back of the neck. There's no zip in this. It's got a keyhole at the back there, and it just fastens with a hook and eye at the back. So it looks really lovely on. It's all understitched, and the facing inside does generally lie quite flat, but what I might have to do is just put a couple of little stitches in here and there just to hold that facing in, because I'm still a little bit concerned that it's going to roll out. This fabric in this pattern, I'll be honest, was really quite a challenge to put together, and I think the reason for that is because it's quite shifty and it's quite slippery, and having to create all the ruffles and baste everything together and then understitch and trying to keep the ruffles out of the way when you're understitching and all that kind of thing, it did really, really challenge me. And I've had this, because I was waiting for that other metre of fabric, I've had this cut out, excuse me, excuse me, I've had this cut out ready to sew up for about three weeks now, and even then, when I got my other metre of fabric the other day and got it washed and everything and cut out ready, I had to sew bits of this, put it down, walk away from it, and then come back to it again. So it has taken me a little while to get together. Underneath these ruffles on the arms as well, you have these sleeved pieces here, and basically when I stitched these in, I assumed that the sleeved pieces were actually up on your arm like that. I don't know if you can really see that, and it just didn't feel like it was going to work, and I put it down in a bit of frustration, thinking that this is just going to look ridiculous and not work. But actually those sleeve pieces hug your arm out of sight underneath the ruffle, and they don't sit up like that. So so it does all come together. So I would say that this isn't suitable for a beginner. You'd need to, as a beginner, you'd need to make this out of a really sort of easy fabric to work with, such as a cotton, and you just could not get these ruffles to work in a cotton. It would be too stiff. So it really is something that's much more suited to, I would say, an intermediate sewer. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to be lovely on holiday. I love this fabric. It's just absolutely gorgeous. but I'm sorry, I bought the last metre, so there isn't any left. So there is still some, I do still have most of the metre left out of this fabric, and I'm planning probably to make another Ogden cami out of it, because, you know, everybody knows how much I love that pattern. So yeah, so really, really happy with that one. So that's my make number 3. Number 4 is my Closet Case Patterns Charlie Kaftan. Now, if you remember a couple of vlogs ago, I said that I was going to make that out of some really lovely stripy viscose, and I finally got round to it. What was putting me off was having to cut the fabric out on in a single piece, because that's the thing with stripes. If you've got something that's a really bold stripe, for it to look right, you can't really cut it out on the fold unless you've got a very structured fabric or something that's really stable, like a Ponte Roma, that kind of thing. But with this being viscose, it's quite shifty, and yeah, I just knew that if I didn't take the time to cut it out single fold, I would end up with my stripes going off in all different directions, and it would just look a mess. So I did get my Charlie Kaftan done. I did this on Friday, and here it is, and I'm really, really happy with it. Now, I will be honest with you, I've done the long version, so it's got a little band across the middle with ties that tie around the back. It's got a really lovely V-neck. I'm quite pleased with how my stripe matching has come together at the front here. I've done the low sleeve version because you can make the sleeves a little bit higher, so if you're going to wear it as a dress rather than a kaftan, and you want to, obviously you don't want your bra showing at the side, you can make the higher sleeve version, but I did the low sleeve version because I just wanted this loose and floaty. Again, it's got side seam pockets in. Now, the mistake I made with this was not putting all the notches on the side seams, so I ended up putting the pockets in very, very low. Now, I can get my hands in the pockets because I've got really long arms, but yeah, they are a little bit too low. I should have done them probably a couple of stripes higher. I'm quite happy with how my stripe matching has worked at the side. That's that side, and that side, that's not too bad. Again, it's got splits. Oh gosh, it's quite long, is this dress. I've done the long version. The splits at the side there, it's a little bit creased, I'm afraid, so it's been hung up in my wardrobe. So yeah, the side splits there, and then I've just hemmed it at the bottom. And yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Now, what I would say is this little band across the middle here, I found an absolute nightmare, and it is a little bit messy, I will admit. There's a tiny little, few little puckers just in the corner there, but when it's on and tied, it looks fine. Now, the instructions left me scratching my head with this a lot. I've seen loads of reviews of this kaftan, and I do love it now that it's made, and everybody else that seemed to make this said it was such an easy pattern and straightforward, and I'm like scratching my head trying to get this band in, because you actually attach it, I think you attach it on the you attach it on the outside, but with wrong sides together first or something, and then turn it, you have to cut into the corners and then turn it back through, and it's really, I found it really quite awkward. So this really isn't perfect. I think if I was making it out of a more structured fabric, I would have probably found it easier, but I did find it awkward. So it's turned out okay in the end, but as I say, there's a couple of little puckers there, and I haven't got, you know, it's not perfectly straight there, but hey, who cares? This is going to be great on holiday. It's going to be lovely and floaty, and I can't wait to wear it. So that's everything I've made over the last few days, which I'm really proud of, to be honest. I would say all in all, it's taken me probably about a week to get all those things together, and I have had a couple of days off of work, so, but I've been sewing like a mad woman. Now, the other thing that I have got cut out that I wanted to take on holiday with me was this, the beach pajamas from Now and Then Patterns. You get these from the Till the Sun Goes Down, and I saw the version of this lovely red jumpsuit that Sian from Kittenish Behaviour made a few months ago, and it's absolutely stunning. And I've bought this pattern and I wanted to make this for a long time, but I've been looking for the right fabric. I really love the fabric that Sian made hers out of, and I did actually buy it in the cream colourway, but I didn't buy enough to make the beach pyjamas because it is quite expensive fabric. So I've been hunting for some fabric, and I found this, which is another viscose. It looks quite boring from a distance, but when you get up quite close, it's got little, if that's going to focus there, it's got little suns. And the other thing, I don't know if this is going to show up very well, but it's got like a sparkle to it, so it's got some lurex through it. and it's quite sparkly, and I think that's really quite pretty. So yeah, so I've bought 5 meters of this, and I've cut this out, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get a chance to sew this up today if I can convince my husband to sort of finish packing and let me sew. I don't know if he will, but yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, so I don't know actually how long this is going to take me to sew up, but I'm hoping that I might get a chance to get this done today. Do have a load of ironing to do. So at the moment, I'm sort of swaying between, shall I finish sewing those or shall I do the ironing? At the minute, sewing's winning. Okay, so that's everything that I've made. Obviously, I'm planning to take mostly me-made clothes on holiday because I don't think I've actually bought any clothes this year. I think most of the things that I'm wearing now are handmade. I forgot to tell you what I was wearing as well. This is an Agnes hack top. So this is a vest that I made last night actually. I think it took me about 20 minutes, and if you watch Like So Amazing's vlog, it's the lovely Sarah, she hacked the Agnes, the Tilling the Buttons Agnes top into a vest, and I watched that last week and thought, what a great idea. So I'd got this very cheap jersey camo in my stash, which I'm going to do another vlog about these fabrics another time because I found another fabric supplier that generally sells just jersey fabrics, and they are really, really inexpensive, but that will be coming in a few weeks' time. But I thought, well, you know what, nothing to lose by hacking the pattern and having a go at myself. So yeah, I had a little go at this yesterday, just to make a quick jersey top that I could wear. I'm sort of channeling my inner Lara Croft, I think, with this. And all I've done is twin needled the hem bands. I've just literally turned, I don't know if you can see that without showing off my cleavage, but yeah, I've turned over the top and just twin needled it all around, and the same with the hem at the bottom. Yeah, and it's fine. It's a nice little simple top. So I'm not going to obviously go into detail about how I hacked that pattern. If you just have a look at Like So Amazing's channel, I will put a link to that down below, and Sarah tells you really easily how to just make a few little adjustments to the basic pattern of the Agnes to be able to make a simple vest top. I really want a cover stitch machine. I haven't got one yet, and it is on my list. I've wanted one for a year or so, but I keep thinking, will I get enough use out of it? And at the minute I haven't sort of succumbed, but so I just used a twin needle with varying success, shall I say. But anyway, that's it from me today. So this is it before my holiday. I'm hoping, a few of you have asked me if I'm going to be taking any footage while I'm on holiday. I am planning to, but we'll see how things go. I'm hoping to get some pictures of me wearing some of the clothes that you've just seen anyway, and some other of my older me-made things that I'm going to be taking with me. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody, and I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.